Hi everyone, welcome back to Stamp with Anna, and today I'm going to show you another card that we made at a card class that featured, focused on neutrals and vellums. And as you know, Stampin' Up! Has these great color families, brights, subtles, regals, and neutrals. When they redid, a few years ago when they had the color refresh, the neutrals collection got a little blast of color. Stampin' Up! Added, or I should say moved, Mossy Meadow and Night of Navy from their Regals collection into their Neutrals collection, and they added this beautiful Mary Merlot. So this is Neutrals, Mossy Meadow, Mary Merlot, Basic Black, and Vellum right here. So this is the card that we're going to make, and this is really, really super easy to make. So what I have is a piece of Basic Black, which is my card base, and it's an A2 card, so it's cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I have a piece of Whisper White, which is cut 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to go on the inside of my card. And then I have a piece of Mary Merlot, and this is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And a piece of vellum, which is cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4. And then I had some scraps of black, Mary Merlot, and Mossy Meadow. But we'll get to that in a second. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to attach my Mary Merlot to my card base. And I'm going to just use some Stampin' Seal to do that. And I used a nice large border on this. I'm going back and forth. Sometimes I go through a kick where I have all thin borders, and then I go back to my thick borders. So I do like that thick border. The piece of vellum was embossed by running it through my Big Shot using the Old World Paper 3D embossing folder. And this is 3D, like it says, so it gives a really nice, deep emboss. And I'm not doing it online because, like I said, these are from a card class, so I had these kits made up. So I already had this all cut. So this here is going to go onto my Mary Merlot. Now, if you've worked with vellum, you know that it's kind of tricky to attach it without having the adhesive show through. So as part of my design, keeping that in mind, I chose this folder because I can attach this quite easily with a glue pen, and I have the Zig glue pen. This is the chisel tip, and they do make one also that I use a lot that is a fine tip. It's a pen tip. So I'm going to use the chisel tip, and I'm going to bring in my silicone pad because I keep making a mess on my work surface. So I know that this is the back side of it. This is the front, the raised side, and this is the back side, the deboss side. I know everywhere there is an impression from that folder, I can put a little bit of adhesive, and it's not going to show because it's already got an image on it from the embossing folder. And this way, I can get a good adhesion without having the adhesive show through on the other side. So I'm going to tip that over, and I'm going to center that on my Mary Merlot. And I'm going to give it a press. Okay, and there it is. And you cannot see my adhesive. Okay, give that a nice press. I'm going to tip this over and just run my palm over it just to make sure, because I have the embossing folder is 3D. So the grooves in it are deep. So this way, if I tip it over and give it a nice press, I get all my glue into the grooves. So now I'm going to put that aside. Then the next thing I'm using is, this is a set that's retiring. It used to be, it was introduced as a bundle, but it's not a bundle anymore. It is the Well Said stamp set. It's 2 pieces, and the well-written dies. The Well Said stamp set, I love this because it has single words in this package, and this package has all of some great words that you can use for the sentiments on the inside of your cards, and that is something I was wishing that Stampin' Up! Would do for a very long time. And then the well-written dies has a ton of dies, 24 dies to be exact. And along with a lot of the words that it has little flourishes, it has an ampersand, it has a bird, a heart, an exclamation point, and it has this greenery and a little butterfly. So I'm going to use the greenery. Let me just put this over here. Put a color behind it so you can see it. I have the greenery and I have the butterfly. And then I'm also going to use the words that say miss you. Okay. Now, although I'm using all die cuts, because like I said, this was for a class and I had to send it out to my customers, and Stampin' Up! Policy prohibits me from selling a card kit that has stamped images in it, so I had to do all die cutting. But I want to show you just how versatile this kit is. So I'm going to show you different ways you can do this. I'm looking for the die that says birthday. Okay, so I could do happy, stamp happy, and die cut birthday. Or I could do it the other way around. I could die cut happy and stamp birthday. Die cut happy and graduation. Die cut happy anniversary. Die cut happy stamp retirement. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Father's Day. Here I have welcome, the stamp that says welcome, and a die cut that says baby. Stamp a word and die cut a word, or you can do it the other way around and die cut a word and stamp a word in an opposite direction. So it is a very, very versatile stamp set, package. Like I said, they are retiring. The stamp sets I know will be available for a while. The die set, I'm not quite sure if there's any available. I did hear through the grapevine that they may have sold out, but it's worth checking it out because it's a great, and you'll use that a lot. So here are the dies, like I said, that I'm using, and I've cut them out already. Like I said, it was part of a package, a kit that I've already got ready. So here is my green foliage, my Merry Merlot butterfly, and this little packet has my Miss You, and I put it in a separate packet so they wouldn't get lost, especially that little dot for the eye. So there's Miss You, and I have a little dot to my eye. So now what I'm going to do is attach those to my card. And I'm going to move these out of the way so that I can actually attach. First thing I'm going to do is turn my greenery over, and I'm going to use my finer tip glue pen, and I want to make sure that this is going to adhere to my vellum nicely. So I'm going to, at a minimum, put a little dot of glue on the tip of every leaf. If you have a little Xyron, one of the X Xyrons, you can certainly run this through because it does fit. And I'm going to make sure I get some glue on the stems of my foliage. And now I'm going to turn this over. And I'm just going to attach it to the bottom left. And again, this paper is embossed with a 3D embossing folder, so you do need to make sure your adhesive gets into the grooves. So what I'm going to do is bring in a piece of cardstock and just press that through. Okay? And then I'm going to put that off to the side. The next thing I'm going to do is attach the Miss U. So first I'm going to put the U down because that's going to kind of dictate where my miss goes. So I'm going, again, using the same glue pen. Going to attach this bottom right. Straighten that out. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the miss. And when you're attaching or applying your glue, you just want to make sure you get the tips of the letters. That way you know it's not going to fall off in an envelope. And I'm going to offset that just a tiny bit. And I'm going to press that down. Now I have managed to not lose the dot of my eye. So what I'm going to do is put a little adhesive right on my vellum, and I'm going to take my dot and I'm going to just drop it right in there. And then with my pierce tool, I'm just going to push that right into place, and that will dry. The glue that's there will dry clear. So I have that already. Now I have my butterfly. I'm going to turn my butterfly over, and I'm just going to put some adhesive right down the body of the butterfly. And I'm going to just bend it a little bit so that the wings raise a bit. And I'm going to put that in the center, on my card. And then in the center of the body, I'm just going to take the tip of my glue pen and just push that all the way down so that stays. Now that's pretty in and of itself. Oops, this U just doesn't want to stay on. Hold on one sec. Let me reapply. All right, so that is pretty in and of itself, but of course I'm going to bling it up a little bit, right? So I have a strip. I have 10 little rhinestones. These I sent off. I cut them up because I sent them off in the kits. So I'm just going to scatter those around, and there are 10 of them. So what I'm going to do is put 3 on each one of my stalks here. I'm going to put one on the top. And it's on the top leaf, but right at the bottom of it. And then I'm going to add 2 more. This one's down bottom here. And this one is, let's see, we'll put it on this side, midway through that one. This one right here. Just scatter them wherever you'd like. No rhyme or reason. That was on the left, so I'm going to put that on the right. And that one's going to go over there. And one more. Oh, I think I lost one. Let me just grab another one right here. And there's 9, 3 on each one. And then I'm going to take one more and put it right in the middle of my butterfly's body. So there's the front all set. Now this says Miss You, and one of the stamps in the set says far apart but close at heart. And I think because we're all doing the social distancing thing, that's a perfect sentiment. Someone you haven't seen in a while, you haven't been able to get together with. It's a perfect sentiment for them. So I'm going to ink that little stamp up in, I'm going to make sure I have it going in the right way, in Merry Merlot. And then I'm going to come down, straight up. And the last thing we have to do is attach that to the inside of the card. And this is a piece of basic white that's cut 4 by 5 1/4. I don't know if I've already said that. And there we go. It's simple, it's nice and clean. It did take a little bit of fussy cutting, die cutting with all the little elements on it. But when it's put together, it is nice, clean look. Miss you, far apart, but close at heart. I hope you have enjoyed this project. And if you have any questions at all about the project or any of the products I used, certainly contact me through my blog, www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com. And if you do not have a demonstrator with whom you work, certainly let me know and I'll be glad to drop a new catalog in the mail to you. If you've enjoyed this project, I hope that you will give this video a thumbs up and think about perhaps subscribing to my YouTube channel so you can see new videos when they're posted. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you back here with another project soon.